So what's the best Tier 9 destroyer for ranked?
Hey, what's your favorite Tier 9 destroyer in World of Warships?
I think it's really sexy when a guy picks a Fletcher class destroyer.
Let's take a look with Ripper.
Thank you very much, Natasha. And yes, this is Ripper here. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. Got another video about Tier 9 destroyers, especially gunboat destroyers for ranked currently in this season. We're going to take a look at, what are my top picks, what do I use, what I've seen being used a lot out there, and what I'll, at the end of the video with my ultimate, I think what I would use to really, if I had to rank up real fast and get through the missions and sometimes even carry the game, which destroyer I would actually use, so stay tuned for that. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. You see value in what we're doing here today. Smash those buttons. Thanks for stopping by and appreciate all your support and have fun while we're doing this video. All right, let's take a look at it. First one down the line, and is something that actually got buffed recently, maybe several months ago, and I can't remember when exactly, but I know that it got buffed for gun reload because I think maybe Wargaming was analyzing this and didn't really see too much action in it, which I'm surprised because it is very powerful, which is the El Cantones line, the Gdansk line. We just did a video with the split. Now it's the El Cantones, which is even more ridiculously powerful in my personal opinion. And, of course, Gdansk is one of my top destroyers at Tier 10. But for ranked, as you can see, it's really just 6-on-6 versus 6, which I like this kind of complement, 7 versus 7, similar to competitive. Unbreakable lines the same way. Ranked is a little bit... Sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 7 versus 7, but I really do enjoy it. Again, some of you guys, are surprised because Unbreakable Line has respawns. I mean, at least ranked, there's these kind of little small contesting areas where you're still going one-on-one kind of, against maybe a few players, not like really overwhelmed, no carriers. There are subs. Now, I haven't seen too many subs in ranked, but like I said, it's a great format. I do enjoy it a lot. But what is the El Cantones right now? It's this kind of European gunboat destroyer line, which not like focused on torpedoes like the Holland line does, but the El Cantones is focused on more of that gunboat action, kind of like the French gunboat destroyers, like the Mogador style of gameplay. The cool thing about this is the guns, although they're pretty and darn incredible, have a great reload rate, 140 millimeter caliber, pens 23 mil, and of course starts a lot of fires. 10% fire chance. Torpedoes are 9 kilometers, not the greatest. But the thing I think is the bread and butter here is the smoke radar combo. Yes, the Gdansk smoke radar combo gimmick, which is super powerful. It's got the engine moves like always. But what's so powerful about this? So as soon as you get spotted, it's stealth radar. You get spotted within an 8-kilometer detection, which is horrendous, right? Horrendous detection. But as soon as you get spotted, boom, you pop the radar, 9 kilometers, 12-second duration. You spot whatever's in front of you. Right here, I'll smoke up. And then the gimmick really is like the USS Blackline, where you just pop radar, and then you can actually detect what you're doing. So, or you can elect not to. Like right now, I'm kind of like on the iffy side. I'm like, let me wait until I actually have people in range, because I think the encounter's within range. But no, actually, it's the Fletcher. That was the guy that was spotting me. So we pop radar right there, and then we can spot him out to 9 kilometers, which is an incredible radar range for a destroyer. And then, of course, you, again, almost borderline busted broken, because it's, how do you counter it? You're already spotted within your detection, and boom, you pop the radar and smoke, and boom, you are undetected, and you can fire at will. Pretty crazy. Now, it is 12 seconds, so I guess that's how they, in Wargaming's opinion, balances of this, but it's a stealth radar. So it gives the enemy an opportunity to egress and leave the area. Now, here's the bread and butter of what El Cantones Gdansk really do, is just start amazing fires. It really is just a massive machine gun platform. You can see non-stop fire action here. If you like sitting in smoke, like HE spamming, El Cantones does a great job, especially with the recent buff lately. It really puts the reload rate, the DPM, at a comfortable level now where you can actually do a lot of damage. Look at 1,000 damage right there. And we're just literally sitting here spamming HE and just rocking and rolling. Iowa moving in, not sure why he did that. See, this is why I was kind of conservative here, because players just do weird things in ranked and competitive sometimes, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to throw my ship away. The bulk of my team's at Charlie. I knew an Iowa, especially the players these days, they don't know how to play the American battleships. They're just rushing into their death and dying. I mean, you don't want to do that in ranked, okay? So again, playing conservative here. I'm going to go get out of the way of the Giuseppe Verdi here. I've got a Palmer in front, so I'm going to speed up and kind of see. The torpedoes are actually pretty decent for these ranges, but they're okay. They're just pea shooters in my personal opinion. All right, we get one lucky torpedo, but again, scratches the paint. 7,000 HP, right? Not off a 72,000 HP battleship. Nothing to gawk at, but we'll take it. All right, let's see how we position here. Notice I'm holding my fire, waiting for my smoke to come back. That's pretty much what all you can do. because they really have no other defensive measure outside of just getting shot at. I have no heals, so that's the downside of the Gdansk line, where you don't have any heals to recover from the damage and mistakes that you make, so you got to play really conservative. Now, you do have a big HP pool. I mean, Gdansk gets out to the 29,000 HP pool. You're at 24,000 here at Tier 9. Not bad. So it's okay. It's not. It's actually a decent amount of HP compared to, like, a Fletcher doesn't start out with this much. All right, so Fletcher gets spotted right off the bat. We have a radar in our hip pocket in case we need to, pop it. And this is pretty much it. Now, the gun arcs and everything are nice and decent, but again, with single barrel, very, very difficult to aim at, in my personal opinion, at Tier 9. I like the double barrel guns at Tier 10. There just seems more comfortable to me. I get more shots on target. Notice how much I'm struggling here to land them on a Fletcher at even at 9 kilometers. So really, this ship is designed to really melt down the battleships and cruisers, more of that gunboat platform that you really want to see and enjoy. Excuse me. And right now we start incapacitated the Fletcher there in something, but you know what? Here's where we make our money right here. Notice that just large structures like this are easy for El Cantones. A lot of gun power. I mean, we got 6 barrel guns. If you can get all 6 shooting, that one turret that's at the front of the ship, that's towards the opposite end of the target, that turret right there has a problem traversing to get on target, and you really just have to position in a funky way to really get anything going. But you can see right there, just helping burn down a lot of the ships. That's the name of the game. He's in his smoke. We're going to wait, and we pop the radar, and we get to pop him for free here. He's stuck in his smoke, but we can farm for free and start as much damage. And this is where, again, this line really shines, is being able to hit, stay in the smoke, pop radar, cause the enemy to make a mistake, fire in smoke, has a smoke firing penalty, and now we're just going to shoot and melt down like crazy here. And this thing has a great reload rate, especially adrenaline rush kicking in. We just literally sit here and just melt the crap out of him. And he goes down right now, and that's pretty much it. A little slow and sluggish for the El Cantones line. I don't like the maneuverability. It's got the engine boost. It's great, but just doesn't maneuver great as I would like to. It's just a fast speedboat, in my personal opinion. It goes up to the 40-knot range with the engine boost. It's kind of like Gdansk. Again, it doesn't maneuver as well. It's a hunky, big kind of a pickup truck kind of feel. But like I said, this line literally feels like a pickup truck. It's got all the utilities and everything, but not the maneuverability that you would see in a Daring or, you say, the British style of destroyers and so forth, but it gets the job done, really, and this is what it excels at here. It's spotted right away, pop the radar. We got 12 seconds to unleash hell on him. He's only got 5k health left, and I know the Fletcher doesn't have any heals, so anything we do right now is perma damage right there, and that's what we do. We really just spot, get a couple salvos on. Look, we didn't really get that much damage on him. 3 hits for 12 seconds. I mean, that's it right there. But here's the good thing about El Cantones. It does recharge very quickly on the radar. Literally 55-second reload or cooldown. So all you got to do is wait. He's got to get out of my range of 9 kilometers within 55 seconds. So that proves to be very difficult. So here it is. As soon as we get spotted, you pop the radar again. So there it is, spotted. Pop the radar, stealth radar kind of gimmick there. And there you go. That's how El Cantones works right there. But that's it. That's the gimmick. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. It seems okay. I mean, it's not the destroyer that I would just choose, like, just amazingly to run a ranked and see if I can carry the game. But it is very powerful. It's a great support ship, great utility ship, and you just saw it displayed right there. So you guys let me know what you think, and then we'll move on to the next destroyer. Let's see here. Yep, top 3. Here's kind of the damage output, 48,000. It's just an all-around kind of a utility destroyer. But again, let's move on to the next one. All right, now we are moving on to the next Tier 9 destroyer. Yes, this time, which is the ZF6. It is a premium one. So El Cantones was a tech tree line we already talked about. Now we're talking about a premium destroyer. I believe you cannot get this anymore. Forgive me, but if you do have it, I think it's one of the most powerful things. I saw, I believe Flamu did a video on this thing, which used the AP, focused on AP. Now, I was like blown away there. I thought the HE on this thing would be pretty incredible, right? But actually, I mean, the HE pins 40 mil, right? Which I'm going, not bad. That's awesome. But no, look at the damage output when you build for AP, and just look at how much damage you can put with this, and the reload booster on top of that. It's pretty darn incredible here. Watch and just observe the AP. Torpedoes 8 kilometers, smoke, and that the reload booster, which cuts for 15 seconds, 50% reload time, and engine boost and DFA. Now watch, we're working together as a team. Black here. As soon as he gets spotted, boom, he's got the radar. Now watch the AP on this bad boy. Okay, look how much damage this thing does. Got the reload booster popped, right? And great concealment, by the way, for the ZF6. But look at this. just plowing into him. 2,000 damages. Like, oh my gosh, this thing is redonkulous, and he goes down. Boom, splash 1 for the team right there. And amazing, amazing firepower. We did 17,000 damage with the AP alone right there, okay? So, absolutely horrendously strong. ZF6, I did not realize. And now watch what this thing can do against battleships and cruisers. Oh my gosh, this thing is redonkulous, okay? So it is a thing that I did not realize because I'm a fan of AP. You know, I'm a fan of the Druid. I'm a fan of the Z42. A lot of those heavy AP focused ships, but man, did I just underestimate the power of what ZF6 is. Now again, I wouldn't recommend that. This would not be my top priority destroyer build or destroyer pick for ranked. It is there. I think it's strong. I wanted to take a look at it and let you guys see, but again, it's not something I would normally pick, but again, it's also a destroyer that was a premium, that was, I believe, a dockyard ship. I forgot. It's so long ago. You need to have literally super great memory and a PhD in this level of gaming in order to understand and know all these ships by heart. But again, I believe it was available for the dockyard event or a premium ship of some kind, but ZF6, not sure if it's still available. You guys let me know. Let other people know if it's still available, but I don't think it's available anymore. I'll have to look it up. I'll even look it up while we're talking. But ZF6, it is amazing. It's got the smoke. It's got the engine boost. Reload booster is really the gimmick right there. It's just being able to unleash ungodly amounts of shells in a short amount of time, again, against one-on-one destroyers is just ungodly. The concealment's great. 5.8, amazing, amazing. Really enjoyed it a lot, and it allows you to really move in and work the concealment lines for this line in strip. Let me see. I'm looking up right now. German special premium tier 9 destroyer, and I believe it was introduced as a dockyard. Yep, dockyard event update. Yep. So I don't believe it's available anymore. Sorry. I wish they bring it back. It is pretty strong and powerful. Definitely a must to get. The smoke is great. The torpedoes are whatever. 8 kilometers, not the greatest range, but what it excels at again is this gunboat where you can pen 40 mil with these guns. Single barrel, not the fan. I'm not a fan of the single barrel. I'm telling you, I want the double barrel. But hey, we'll work with what we got. Now watch what we can do here against the battleships and the destroyers here. So I'm looking at the Z44. He's probably going to get spotted by my USS Black here. He radars. So we're going to wait, hold shots, because once I fire, I don't have heals. That's the downside. I don't have any heals. So as a gunboat destroyer, I always recommend having a heal to really win the day. But we'll work. We'll do what we can. All right, he's not dying fast enough, so we're going to fire a couple shells, hopefully get one, and we land one. All right, watch the firepower. We eliminate one of the destroyers here. Now let's watch the firepower, what this thing can do to a Georgia. Holy crap, look at this. Okay, so we got the reload booster pumping here. I got my smoke going so I can conceal my movement. Look at that, 2,600 damage, 3,400 damage, 26,000, 1,800, 2,600, 1,500. Look, we're just melting this guy, okay? And this is just AP. I'm like doing the bulk of the damage here. I just wish somebody else would help fire with me here. Look at this, 1,400 damage. All right, now we're going to look at the shooting at the bow. Oh my God, we're hydrated now. We got to get out of dodge. 3,100 damage, 200. Oh my gosh, thank goodness he has a heal, right? Otherwise, this Georgia would have been melted a long time ago. And man, oh man, we are just rocking and rolling on his bow right there. A lot of amazing damage. I'm telling you, this thing, if I had another reload booster, it'd be great. But unfortunately, RNG is not helping me out with the aiming system here. Hopefully, we can get this kill. Good Lord. That's why I hate single barrel, I'm telling you. And we get the kill. Splash 2. 79,000 damage. Oh, my gosh. Now, where's my team? I have no idea where my team went. And now we got to help out kill this other guy. So we're going to go around, get a reload booster. Yeah, run around. But, man, what do you guys think of this thing? This thing is horrendously powerful. I did not realize that the AP was that just so strong for ships right now. The torpedoes, not the greatest. No heals, no nothing, just other than the smoke and the gunfire. Now, I had to really start shooting on this guy because I was like, oh, my God, if you can't kill this guy by yourself, Kearsarge, we're done. If the Kearsarge could not survive this against a Blucher, which is another dockyard event ship, I don't have it. I do not want it. I think it's a waste of time, waste of money and effort. I don't see what it provides, really, but I'm a DD main, so it doesn't matter. I should have switched to HE right here at this point, but I was like, you know what? I'm in the moment with the reload booster. I did not want to let go, and oh my gosh, the Blucher killed the Kearsarge with the torpedoes. My God. And that's it. I mean, we can't carry this game because as soon as I pop out of the smoke, he's going to spot me. The Hector's got Hydra, but no, he's going to spot me. He's going to out-detect me, right? Yeah, he spotted me. I was too close. And I can't escape. And once he shot my engine out or damaged my rudder, I couldn't escape the speed here. But we had to literally carry the team with this thing. But again, I wouldn't choose this thing as the sole, like, I got to just do a rank run. It's there. It's powerful with the AP. But, man, it's fun. But unfortunately, there is a better destroyer out there that I think really rocks and takes the cake, but it still is fun to play against, man. I'm telling you, the AP is rocking and rolling, man. It is enjoyable. This thing doesn't have any hydros, no heals, no radar. I mean, to be a really good gunboat, you got to have something of that kind, but, man, we got rocked right there. But we did our part. We did as much damage. We got 90,000 damage, 3 kills for our team, and, man, oh, man, is this powerful. Let's take a look at the stats. So what do you guys think? ZF6? ZF6, pretty strong. I think it's strong. Just not something I probably would do a run and ranked with, but it is one of my top picks. If you do have it, I do encourage it. But, of course, there is another store I do definitely recommend over this. But look at the damage right there. In 219, 90,000 damage. We did 57,000 damage with the AP shells right there. Holy crap. And then remember that initial engagement with the Chungmu? 17,000 damage with AP alone. So you guys let me know. What do you think about the ZS6? So anyways, let's move on to the next destroyer and let's take a look at see how it is. All right, team. Here's my next destroyer right now. Yes, the Tier 9 Friesland. And now it's actually the Groningen now. So in the armory, it is available for purchase. Believe it's for doubloons or even coal, but I think you can just outright buy it. But it's the Groningen now. But again, back in the day, it was released as the Tier 9 Friesland, which is pretty much like a small one. Just the rapid reload guns, 2 turrets, double barrels, 1.6 second reload, smoke, and hydro, 5-kilometer hydro. That's it. Now, what can it do? It's got now, of course, I did not build this for concealment. It's 6.4 concealment. You can get it down to about 5.9-ish, I believe. So a great concealment in that regard, but again, I want to go more full gunboat. And this thing literally is a fire starter. It literally will just rain fire from hell and cause a massive, massive problem for battleships and cruisers. And that's kind of the selling point for this thing. It's not very good. It can go toe-to-toe with a destroyer, but you're going to absorb so much damage without any heals. I don't recommend it. So right now, I'm not going to pick a fight with the black because he's got radar, which we'll talk about later in the show. But the Tier 9, was a Fletcher destroyer class line, is probably one of the top destroyer lines out there. Spoiler alert. But we'll go with what we have right now at Friesland. I'm not going to pick a fight with a 7.5-kilometer radar, and that's the pretty much gimmick. It can go, it can dish out some damage, but it's going to absorb so much fire and hate that it's and you got no heals. So it's not something you want to trade off with. Back in the day, I tried to do that with the Friesland. I just couldn't get it to work going toe-to-toe with destroyers. But here's the selling point right here. This literally is like the Hiragumo style of gunboating, where you're literally just throwing out so many shells, you start so many fires that you just cause a mayhem for battleships and cruisers, and you're literally just holding down an entire flank. The Hydro, really, it's great, 5 kilometers, but like most destroyer players, the 5-kilometer Hydro, it's there just as a deterrent to scan for torpedoes and if somebody pushes into you in your smoke. But you have such a long smoke. Look, 2-minute smoke there, like the American line, and you literally just sit here and spam from smoke. That's really the gimmick of this thing. Really like kind of vampire style, where you're just throwing so many shells, see what sticks, and then of course you've got the Hydro to scan for torpedoes, so that way you can sit in the smoke. I don't recommend sitting in smoke too long, but again, this is ranked. You can do that. I scan the threats. The radar's not in the area. Of course, the black is the other radar destroyer out there, so I really am not too worried. I'm far enough away where I can really spam from comfort here, and that's it. That's pretty much the boring gameplay of the Friesland. Again, I don't recommend going out and trying to hunt down destroyers in this thing until you know for sure it's the last 2 destroyers or 1 destroyer. That's because you don't want to get caught in the open from a cruiser or a radar cruiser or even a big battleship that can just focus you down. And that's why it's hard to do that without any heals. So there you just saw a case showcase for the amount of firepower rain down, starting 2 fires, 35,000 damage contributed there. And now we're going to start fires on the Los Andes. You can see just by doing this, it's enough firepower and hate that it causes a battleship to really just rethink its thoughts, run away. And we can dish out a lot of more juicy hate here. Again, the shell arcs are kind of lofty once you start getting past the 10-kilometer range here. You can see how they're starting to really stretch this thing. Easy to aim, obviously, when you're close with these small and kind of level guns. But once you start building this thing out for range, it starts to become really more, I would say, wonky, where the dispersion starts taking an effect. Your arcs and travel times are starting to take effect, and you really got to start walking them on slowly. And you're like, okay, this is getting kind of mundane and getting harder and harder and harder. And you're giving away your position if you're open gunboating. So really, you got to have to really pick and choose your battles. My team is literally working its way at Charlie. Now here's where I go, okay, I can pick this fight. I'm not within the 7.5 kilometer radar range of anybody of the Black or the Missouri's out. So really, it's just 3 ships left. We pretty much, I think we have the ship advantage here. So I'm just going to sit and work down the Palmer. And this is why it's so darn annoying with the Friesland here, because you got to smoke, ready to go when you're ready. I mean, how do you combat this? How do you counter this? Unless you have radar or whatnot, and really there's nothing more you can do as a battleship. You're just going to have to sit here and take the damage, and it starts so many fires because of the amount of shells you're dishing out. See, Palmer would rather fire at us than the Los Angeles because he realizes what's going on here, that if you don't kill me, I'm going to burn the crap, burn your whole entire ship down. An entire flank is going to just get destroyed by one Friesland. So my team at Charlie can just literally not have to worry about anything. They're just going to be preoccupied with me. And that's what this excels at. The gunboats really excel at this kind of level of gameplay, because this is all World of Warships is right now, is just HE spamming with gimmicks. So that's all you can really do. We start another fire on Los Andes. Nothing he can do. Again, it's just sheer volume of shells firing. It's kind of like, again, simple, simplistic, boring gameplay, but it works to get through ranked. So I would recommend Friesland. It is a ultimate firehouse, so freaking powerful that it just makes a living nightmare in hell for battleships and cruisers to push in. And if you even try to push into the smoke, it's got the 5-kilometer hydro, and the DD's got to deal with the 1.5 second reload guns that just dish out so much, HE spam, and just horrendously powerful. And just look, it's 289, 570. Yeah, it's just these small little ticks here and there, but then when it starts the fires, that's when it really starts getting it cooked right there. So you're really literally cooking battleships. Up to 83,000 damage. Another fire started right there. We thought about shooting at the Black, but it's okay. And we'll just... Ooh, my nice little hop right there. All right, and now this is where we just rush into the Black and take him out. Yep, we got RPF on this thing, so here's where we spot him, and he's trying to try to duke it out with me, but unfortunately, he's just overwhelming firepower. But look at the amount of firepower we're dealing with him. Not an even exchange, but again, we dish out so much more shells than he does that it's just hard. I like the double barrel guns. That's what I'm telling you. It's just double barrel guns. Give me 1.5 second reload. Super freaking powerful. And the back turret is 360, so you can stay nose in to the threat. 95,000, 6 fires started right there. Holy crap. We didn't really cap anything, but we were top third of the team there doing this much damage. Holy crap. So freaking powerful and annoying nuisance. I'm telling you. It's so annoying go against a Friesland, so you got to kill it and eliminate it so fast. What do you guys think, Friesland? And then we'll move on to our next line, which is one of my favorite lines, and this is where I was getting at. If I had to choose to go into battle and I had nothing else but a tech tree, I literally would choose this next line right here. All right, here it is. Yes, of course, pretty obvious right here. One of the best classes in the Tier 9 arena for destroyers, gunboating, and all around is the USS Fletcher class. Absolutely. One of my favorite lines that leads up to the gearing line. Ultimately, one of the best destroyer lines that I've actually had the pleasure of playing with and using. And you can see, just based on how the gameplay style is, it does everything that you would like, and a great beginning line destroyer. I encourage you, if you ever start playing the world, if you're new here and you need to learn how to destroyers, the mechanics work, ultimately recommend the gearing line, which is the Tier 9 Fletcher and the USS gearing. But what is it? Why is it so good? I mean, you've seen the movie. If you've ever seen the movie with, Tom Hanks, who's Greyhound, this is pretty much the destroyer that they were on, and it is just like in the movie. It's so awesome, so powerful, maneuverable, light, fast, attack, smoke, engine boost. It can depth charge. He's got torpedoes that go out to 10.5 kilometers that are really strong, great reload, very powerful torpedoes. We're doing 19,000 damage, 69 knots. They come out of nowhere. I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard to spot these things at Tier 9. But the bread and butter also is the guns. 127 millimeter standard American guns, right? Little slow, little lofty. You can lob them over islands, but when they're more like, you got to get in close to use them. I mean, they're more for you to get in there, get close, smoke up, and start spamming, and they do a lot of damage, a lot of fires. Great for gunboating DDs, great for lobbing shells over islands to blow up the cruisers and unsuspecting battleships. And there we get a torpedo. Like I said, look at that, just random torpedo hits I get all the time in the Fletcher class and the gearing class. Is something about these torpedoes that just nails and gets the job done and gets damage. So also a very good thing, it's the concealment. 5.8 concealment is great. And you notice that we literally outspot the Kitakaze right there. The enemy team's got 6.1, but the other team has a Fletcher as well. So we kind of trade concealments there, 5.8. So as soon as we get spotted, we both spot, and then we immediately trade fire. So right now, what am I doing right here? I'm staying with my team. I can smoke them up. Again, great utility ship. I can smoke up an entire flank, an entire team, and it's so powerful, this smoke, because it lasts forever. It disperses forever. Just watch right here. I'll pop the smoke and literally lay down an entire wall to shield my team's movement. And then, of course, I can continue to spot. Nobody's spotting against me, so I'm going to free shoot here against Victoria. He's stuck in smoke. He has a smoke firing penalty, so we'll go ahead and lay some fire and watch what the gun's going to do. I'm going to put some torpedoes right in that channel because I probably know he's going to probably escape in that channel, right? And they come out of nowhere. I'm telling you, it's so hard to spot these things sometimes. We got a Carl van Johan. I could shoot him over the island, but then I believe Victoria there. Victoria spots up again, so I'm going to get this Victoria out. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay in our smoke. We got the engine boost active here and long engine boost as well. I love it. I love the fact the engine boost lasts almost like 3 minutes here. So it's pretty incredible. So we're just going to keep firing. We lose 2 of our ships just like that. Holy crap. We lose an I. Man, something about the Isles, man. They're not just playing lately. They're just not knowing what they're doing. We lose our Tulsa as well. But look at this. We're going to just keep rocking and rolling. The gun is just amazing. I just like the reload and the sound of the guns. Just being able to shoot this many shells, and we get another torpedo hit. Yes, look at that. 11,000 damage right there. And then let's see if we can start another fire to get this guy out of it. If we get another fire, it'll be perma fire. And there it is. That's the perma. That's the sign that we're going to kill and melt this guy down. He's at 19,000. That should be enough to take him out. We just got to get another fire to ensure his victory. There's another fire right there. I'm telling you, these things start a lot of fires. If we can get this guy down to about, let's say, 10,000 health, I think we can guarantee that he'll burn to death. I don't know if that was it. Somebody's got to at least fire one more M. All right, so we are continuously spotting, holding the flank here. We're not going to push into Bravo yet. I don't know where the Tulsa's at. He's got that radar, so we'll be... Oh, there he goes. Victoria goes down. Splash 1. Like I said, power of Fletcher right there. And, oh, we're spotted. Oh, my God. I didn't know that Carl van Johan literally just snuck up on us right there. 5.8 concealment. I mean, we are this close. I might as well just fire at him. Now, I don't know his guns aren't that strong. We reset him so he doesn't take the cap. Yeah, his gun, I know his dispersion on the Carl van Johan. It's a good, fun ship to play with torpedoes, but, nah. Rupert definitely takes the cake against the Carl van Johan. Same kind of hull build and everything. So funny. Did we get this torpedo hit? Yes, we do. Look at that. Another torpedo. I'm telling you, Fletcher literally gets the random torpedo hits all over the place that are so annoying for cruisers and battleships, and sometimes you even nail a couple of them randomly on a couple of unsuspecting destroyers. Johan still firing at us with his wonky caliber guns. I know they're not going to be able to hit nothing with that thing, not with the broadside of the barn. So we got our smoke coming off a cooldown here in the next 10 seconds. He takes another wallop of torpedoes, and he is just not having a good day right now from the Jaeger. Again, there are some destroyers that I didn't pick here. Again, you let me know what you guys like. I mean, what do you recommend for Tier 9? These are just the ones I like to play against. I'm not saying this is the, end-all, be-all. But like I said, I don't pick like ones like Jaeger or Jutland because I just don't see the utility and fun in that, and I can't use them to win games as much. I've never seen anybody carry a game to Jaeger or even a Jutland for that matter because I've tried to use them, but I see there's more utility and value for my gameplay style and using the Fletcher class, the El Cantones class as you saw, the ZF6, and of course one other destroyer we're going to talk about later on. But again, it's just my opinion. This is just how I play, how I'm good at it. Now, what are you guys good at? Let me know what you think and what ships have you seen success in. Some of these ships I pick are the ones I normally see a lot of, and Fletcher is one of them. I see a lot of Fletchers playing out there, and we'll see as to why. All right, we get another couple shots here. This game is pretty much over. I think that we take 2, and Hataki is going down right there. The points are just taking up so fast. I'm like, this pretty much is over. There's no real need to push in and throw my ship away. But that's the nature of Fletcher there. And torpedoes coming out right there. We got them coming off a cooldown in another minute. Great reloads on everything. I think Kitakaze goes down. We'll take a couple shots at Kitakaze. Look at that. At this range, look how hard it is to aim these things with single barrel. I mean, you'll get these onesie-twosie hits, but not enough for sustained gunfire. We get 1 or 2 hits there. I mean, it still hits, right? If we can get a lucky hit, maybe one of these shells will nail and kill the Kitakaze. And there he goes. Los Andes secondaries take him. We are currently perma radar. I did not realize he was reversing. Oh my gosh, reversing into a cap. And then we pretty much die here. I was just playing around. I know we win the game anyways. I mean, look at their points. They're only at 292. We're at 790. This game's over. It's okay. We don't have any heals, so it's all right.
Our victory is in sight.
Not sure why this John. I told him just to ram, but he can't even ram either. And he's actually being taken down by a broadside cruiser, outflanking him. This is why you ram, because if you ram, you end the game. Why even go through this? Because why? He can kill you. That's why. And he takes a torpedo, ends the game anyway. Good job, Jaeger, there. Anyway, wins the game right there. Let's take a look at the stats. I mean, I'm telling you, Fletcher is one of the best destroyers out there for even beginners or even experienced players. Really having fun. Look at, you know, #1 in the team. You do everything. Spot, cap, destroyer, hunt. You got great concealment, does everything. So torpedoes are amazing. Very, very powerful destroyer, and you can really take the cake and rank with this destroyer. But here's the other thing. The Fletcher class doesn't stop there. It actually can branch off into other ones that I normally don't talk about because why? I want to get the one that talk about the ones that everybody can get, right? But majority of other ones, like the ones we're going to talk about next, are ones that either one, they're not available anymore, or they're hard to get, or they're premium. But they're honorable mentions because they do have a unique playstyle for the Fletcher class that can help you really up your game and help in ranked. And I've seen a lot of them played as well. So take a look at it. Next coming up is the USS Black, we just saw. All right, yes, you guessed USS Black, because this thing, you saw it in the past few videos that we've been doing, that some players are bringing the USS Black, and it's one of the ships that I do see a lot of. The problem is you can't really get it outright from buying it for cash or money, whatever, because sometimes they do it in events. I think majority of times they show up in the Black Friday events. They're always in that thing because it's USS Black, right? Whatever. And a couple of the Ranzy, onesie, twosie, videos there. I'm sorry, events there. And they're just limited time only. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't recall seeing it in the Armory. Again, I bought this ship a long, long time ago, so I don't really go in the Armory and check what's there or not. But if it's still there, let me know if it's available for coal or something. But I think they usually just give them out in the events. But I could be wrong. So as of recording this video as today, let me know, guys, if it's still available. But this is the one I see a lot of players bring that have purchased this thing. And what sets it aside from the Fletcher? So again, it's the same chassis, same Fletcher class style destroyer, same similar guns, nothing too critical. The difference is the torpedoes go 43 knots. The people often refer to these things as sea mines. They literally are land mines, just literally hang around and go so slow that you can outmaneuver them almost. And really, they're just taking their sweet ass time to get there. And hilarious just to see when people hit them, though, they pack a wallop, I'm telling you. Standard kind of smoke, lasts a long time like always, but here's the gimmick right here. Smoke radar combo. Yes, 7.5 radar, kilometer radar with the smoke is absolutely powerful. Now, the downside is the guns are not as accurate as I feel as they should be, because when you smoke up and you have the radar, you would think you would melt somebody using the smoke fire combo thing, but it actually proves to be very, very difficult to actually melt destroyers, in my personal opinion, as opposed to back in the day. I think I could melt a destroyer down just by doing that gimmick, where I smoke up, radar the guy, and he's caught my web of radar, and I just haven't been able to nuke and kill destroyers in one fell swoop in one engagement as I would, like, say, a Smolin or a Gdansk. It just takes so many shells to kill somebody in these levels. And like right here, for example, here's that situation right here where, let's see how much, he's at 25k health. I got a 25-second radar. Let's see what I can do. How much damage can I do to bring down this Kitakaze? You can kind of see a demonstrate of this smoke kind of gimmick, smoke radar gimmick here. And you see how hard it is to land these shells sometimes. And, I mean, they're landing. They're lofting right over the island there, and then radar goes down, and I have nobody spotting for me, and goes dark, and I did only about 13k damage. So again, and it's a waste of a smoke. See, it lasts a 2-minute smoke there, and all I could do is use it, pop out, and get out, and now I got to wait another 146 seconds for the next cooldown to happen. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like it's just not there. The firepower is not there to make this thing seem like the radar smoke gimmick can work, but again, it is there. But I feel like it's going to do the normal Fletcher thing where sit and smoke, HE spam as many shells as it can. And it's very dangerous, like I said, to sit and smoke, but that's really it. The torpedoes, I can barely hit anything with these things. They're so slow. They get spotted. And but when they do come at you, man, oh man, are they deadly. I think it's a 0.9 second reaction time on the WoW stats things. But again, it just seems with the amount of hydro spotting and everything like there, it's just so difficult to land anything on somebody. I'm actually complaining about this Awami player. I don't know what you're doing, sitting in the back of this island, not supporting your destroyer, and hoping to do what? I don't know the tactical advantage of what you're doing right now. But anyways, that's another less than another day. Oh, look at this. We may get... Look at these torpedoes. They, like I said, he hasn't spotted them yet. There's no tick above those torpedoes, and once he sees them, and it's almost like too late. You have literally 0.9 second reaction time to do something. And oh man, are we gonna get it? And, ooh, nice! Look at that. We're gonna get probably 3 of them to land. 1, 2, 3. Look at that! Holy crap! We took a lot of damage off the Vaizama right there. Like I said, they're just random torpedoes, just lobbing, and you're just spraying and praying, hoping you get something. So let's see what this Vaizama is doing. Vaizama is absolutely overpowered broken. I see everybody bring these experimental ships to rank, and people are just really just trying to get an easy win, and it is so difficult. So you got to figure out, how do I beat the Vaizamas lately? And I'm noticing all I do is just try to burn them down. They burn very well. So Soviet kind of design, ships burn very, very easily here. Now they got a great broadside, so if you can find the broadside Vaizama, it's game over there. See, I'm just landing shells right into his superstructure there. He misses my torpedoes. So again, he had enough ample time. I believe he has hydro up. Yeah, he's got his hydro running, so he saw them in time. Let's see if we can help out our Iwami that did nothing for us, and I'll try to kill this guy for him. Come on, baby, get this guy out of here. Yep, of course, we had to save the day. Had to save the Iwami from the Vaizama. All right. Throwing random torpedoes out the Los Andes. It's going to be kind of a boring sail around here. This is the nature of rank these days. We're going to sail back around. You go flank. It's maneuverable. It's got enough speed. It doesn't have the engine boost, so that's a downside. So without the engine boost, I feel like it's a little sluggish to Fletcher, so not the greatest. We launch another set. Look at that. We got our first set going, and the reload time is so great, I can launch another set of sea mines. They're going to eventually work their way, and oh man, when they come and they sneak up on you like this, man, does it make a great fireworks show, okay? We got our radar ready to go if we need to pop the Kitakaze, and it's very dangerous to sit and smoke with the black hanging around, because you can just literally just sneak up on them, pop the radar, and you have free, unmolested damage here. Okay, let's take a look at how are these torpedoes going to go. 1, 2, look at that. 3 torpedo hits again, and they just melt the crap out of this destroyer. So I popped the radar right here and just safety smoke in case, and nobody's there. See, sometimes he was smart. He didn't hang in the smoke there. So there's a Kitakaze. All right, we're just going to take the cake and take Bravo, and they'll just win the game for us. There it is. So that's USS Black. So again, this is kind of that premium kind of style. I don't talk about it too much because it's not available for everybody unless you either spend money or wait for events. Top of the team, great right there. But there's another destroyer that's also rare that's only available for YOLO, FOLO, whatever events. And we'll take a look at it. It's the USS Johnston. Yes, the USS Johnston, available for those really FOMO events that really are very, very rare. I think that's coming back right now with a quick little armory thing. I forgot what it's called. But you can all get it right now. I believe the event is still going on where you just try to get these crates, whatever, and you can get it. But the USS Johnston, what is it? It's a Fletcher class. However, look at the guns. You have a burst fire gimmick, which fires sap shells. So engine, you got the standard smoke and engine boost. Great. It plays like a Fletcher, acts like a Fletcher. Torpedoes, longer reloads, but because of that longer reload, you get this burst fire gimmick. And you're going to see, what do you think of it? Because it really is just sending 3 salvos of sap hate down, and you're going to notice a way, way bigger damage difference here when you're shooting sap especially, and that is the gimmick really. And it has a very unique playstyle because you can really melt down destroyers so quick. So right now, watch this. Ostergotland. I don't like the Ostergotland anymore. It really kind of plays like that Holland feel, but look what it does. It's got the heals. It's great, but I don't like it. I can't seem to carry games with it, but you can absolutely do it with these gimmicks right here. Look at that. The sap shells just rain so much firepower, and hey, look at that. Just 2,300 damage on just a couple shell hits, like 4 shell hits. That's a lot of damage. And you're rocking and rolling, and you can dish out a lot of damage against battleships and cruisers as well. So, I mean, I always look at this as the utility of this thing. Can this thing take on an entire fleet? Can it take on a cruiser? Can it take on a battleship? Can it take on, obviously, the destroyers? But, man, oh, man, is it powerful. And I'm working with my Jaeger here to help him out. Again, there's the torpedoes right there. Kind of standard Fletcher torpedoes, but the reload rate is horrendous. Was 156 seconds that I saw there? 151 seconds. My gosh, super freaking long. But look at the reload right here. Yep, reload is the 7.4, so it behooves you to use the burst fire because in the time you would have fired your normal guns like Fletcher guns, it would have been the same amount of damage if you just fired the burst fire, so they're trying to get you to use the burst fire more. Standard maneuverability of the the Fletcher class line, but here's kind of how the shells work at 10 kilometers here. A little bit lofty here, so you got to do a lot of leading. But there's the burst fire game. You can see in there, it goes boom, 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 boom. That's 3 sets right there. But man, when they land and connect, look at this, 3,600 damage. Look at that. It's a lot of damage coming from a little teeny destroyer, because when you start firing sap, man, it's just like a different ball game. I'm telling you. Wargaming loves bringing in these little gimmicks with sap and everything. It's crazy. It just does a work and a number on the battleships and cruisers. So let's push back in with our Jaeger. Hopefully we can support them. Okay, here it is, Jutland. Again, I don't like the Jutland. They take away one set of guns. That's why I like Cossack better when I did my previous videos. I tried the Jutland. I just couldn't get it to work. I don't like the fact that it's only 3 sets of guns. I'd rather have... If you're going to give me 3 sets of guns, make the reload better like a Daring. Like Daring has 3 sets of guns, but the reload is way, way better. But Cossack, if you're going to give me 4.5, 5-second reload, then give me that damn 4th turret. But they took it away in the Jutland, so I honestly think Cossack is better than Jutland. It's got heals, great, but man, the firepower is just not there. I can't get it to work. But with the Johnston here, man, oh man, you got to watch out though, because you can sustain damage just like a Fletcher, and there's no heals, so you got to be very cautious. Again, great concealment, 5.8, very comfortable. I like it a lot. And now we're just working with the torpedoes here. We're going to see if we can... really, all I can do... I mean, the enemy team would just wish not... Here it is. Here's this. This is the gimmick right here. Look at the amount of damage you can just pummel on the Ostergotland. And this is exactly why Ostergotland's got 2 turrets. And the front turret's only one firing now, because he's got to give so much broadside. And look, it doesn't matter if he angles. The sap shells are just too much firepower against him. Okay, watch his angle. Look at the angle. Horrendous angles, right? But it doesn't matter. Sap shells just melt him. I'm telling you. That was the display of what the Johnston excels over there. Just melting destroyers. The sap is just ungodly. Burst fire gimmick, everything. That's... And again, this ship isn't just... You can just go get it right away. It's only in those events, right? So that's why they probably did it, for that reason. They should have made Johnston more powerful, honestly. Everybody loves talking about Johnston. It's one of the great destroyers, great history. Kind of like that YOLO destroyer where it's so difficult to kill and die. I wish they put more of like a super heal or something on it to kind of reflect the history of USS Johnston. But I'm just playing around. I'm just speeding up this thing. All it does, I'm just HE spamming, but standard Fletcher's HE spamming right there. With the burst fire, you get a glimpse of it right there. But really, the bread and butter is just going in and taking out destroyers and using sap to melt down cruisers and battleships when the time is right. Look at this. All right, we got the Jaeger trying to push into this side here. He's flanking, getting some nice juicy pins right there, even against an Jaeger, which is really, really amazing. And he goes down. Valparaiso, not a fair match right there. Somebody's spotting us up here. I think it is the, Jutland right there. So, yeah, look at that, Jutland. What are you going to do? Not really much firepower utility, I personally think. I mean, this thing can absolutely melt the Jutland, and he's really got no other gimmick to survive. And he goes down right there. All right, let's see if we can push in. We'll take on Hataki. We'll cap. And, I mean, again, the USS Fletcher line, great for capping and doing what it's supposed to do. Look at what it does against the battleship. Look, he's angled. And I'm just, like, literally just lobbing, sap shells into his side, and it is just horrendous. See how much damage we do there. Look at that, about 2,000 damage. He goes down, and then we got the last Illinois that goes down. All right, that's the Johnston right there. But really, as cool as that is, there's one destroyer that has a deep place in my heart, and we'll take a look at it now. But this is the destroyer I would definitely take, especially at Tier 9, into ranked to really carry the team if I had to. And you guessed it, the Tier 9 Kitakaze. Yes, you guessed it, the Tier 9 Kitakaze, one of my ultimate favorite. Now, this is more than the Akazuki at Tier 8 because it's just something about it is different there. But man, something with the reload rate on the Kitakaze here, penning 37 mil, 1,000 meter per second velocity shells. Torpedoes are, standard IGN torpedoes, smoke, engine boost, reload booster. But really, it's the guns. I'm telling you, if you want Daka, Kitakaze, it's where it's at. We already talked about Hiragumo lines before in my other videos, but man, something about a Tier 9 Kitakaze is just a next level. I'm telling you, it literally sends so much firepower and hate. It's a force multiplier. It literally is something you got to deal with. If you see a Kitakaze on the other team, you got to remove it because it can do so much damage and it'll dish out so much hate because it's so effective at what it does, which is sheer gunboat firepower. And that's why I like it so much. And about the ability to pen 37 mil, especially at tier 9, is just so easy. It just makes the shooting a lot more enjoyable. You get a lot of damage out. And just look at this. 4 sets of guns, double barrel, my favorite. The double barrel 4-gun combo is exactly what I want in a destroyer line. It's what everything should be, honestly. My personal opinion. They got, I think Lesta has a destroyer. USS Destroyer has the 4-gun boat, kind of trying to mimic along the lines of, like, I don't want to say Mogador, but maybe Kabarov style level of gameplay. You got Mogador kind of gameplay, Kitakaze kind of gameplay. That 4-gun turret system, and it is so freaking powerful. I'm telling you, Harigoma takes it another level with 5 turrets, but that's awesome too. But that tier 9, because of the level you're at, man, oh man, can you do what you're seeing in the background here, which is just melt and cause battleships to literally turn away and check 6 and do a 180 out. And says that I'm not messing with the Kitakaze and smoke. It is so freaking powerful. IFHE build, you'll see the build at the end of the video. Definitely horrendous. I know it reduces the fire chance, but it doesn't matter because fire chance is still fire chance. If you just shoot enough shells at something, it's going to start a fire. And once that fire's going, you've already started. You don't have to worry about it again until it goes out. So here's the cool part about it is the raw alpha damage that you're getting with these HE shells pinning 37 mil. Now, obviously, with the bigger German battleships, they got 50 mil armor plating on certain sections there. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of non-pins. But for the American line, the cruiser line, it just, man, these things eat those things alive. We're still working one of the battleships down until we get another Pommern here as a juicy morsel. And let's see if we can nail that last Pommern in the back there. If we can get another fire going on, he could be melted down, and that will help us out melt one battleship. Again, the name of the game for the Kitakaze is really just melting cruisers and battleship and getting them out. There's our other counterpart, Kitakaze, right there. Good choice. Unfortunately, a little too aggressive, and we are in the smoke. Look at everybody blind firing us. Isn't that amazing? They're probably blind firing us because all my team is in the back. I love how my teammates just love sitting in the back. Back 2 turrets. You know, back turrets are the best turrets. I'm telling you, they still pack a wallop. Just 2 turrets alone can just melt down a destroyer by themselves. Pretty incredible. That's why I love the fact that you have the 2-barrel gun system or 4-turret gun system. We take out one destroyer or help them out. Palmer in the back goes down as well and just non-stop firing. Look at this. All right, Ruprecht is taken down. Van Coharn is still shooting at us. We slam on the brakes, throw off his shots, and now we're going to work our way to go back into capping. Again, let's see if we can melt down a couple more ships for our team so they have the confidence to actually move in. We're going to take Alpha here. And watch right here. We're literally just going to hunker down right here and just help out our team melt. We're just like another secondary kind of style of gunboat where we're kind of like supplementing a battleship and with his guns, with our guns. And let's see, who do we want to shoot here? We got Los Andes on our left, and we got the Palmer on our right. Palmer looks a lot more juicier. He's about to die. But I got to make sure I cap this thing before firing. I don't want to reset the cap. We can launch our torpedoes here. Just standard torpedoes, nothing crazy. We launched 6 of them. That's way more than, you know, some of the launchers on the Shimakaze. I think those are 5 turrets. We get to shoot 6 turrets of torpedoes. And we got a reload booster if we need to come back. All right, we're going to take out this Palmer and get this guy out because he is killing everybody. I don't know why it's so hard to kill one Palmer in here. Raw alpha damage right there. Look at that, 1130, 792. It's still damaged, 1,000 damage. We get a torpedo hit on the Los Andes in the background there, and we take him out. Now we're switching to Los Andes, and just watch what we're going to do a number on him. We're going to melt the crap out of him. Let's look at this. Yeah, his armor is not as thick as the Palmer, and so we are literally just doing just massive amounts of damage all over his structure and starting fires. So we help our team literally get this out. Get this guy out of here so we can actually come back and start capping our spots. And this is what you got to deal with a Kitakaze. I'm telling you, you got to get this thing out of the game. Remove him if you see him on the enemy team. Otherwise, you're going to suffer the fate of this right here. God, he is on fire all over this, and we take him down. Splash 2, 91,000 damage. And unfortunately, we do something really stupid here. We take a unsuspecting torpedo. That's why I was very bad. Again, that's the only downside of the IJN line is the Kitakaze Harigoma are really sluggish. They're not as maneuverable. They don't accelerate really well. It feels like we're going uphill all the time. And I was like, wait a second. If I hit the engine boost, so right here, this torpedo, just the angle looks weirdly weird. Oh, man, I took a hit. Shouldn't have been it when we lose this game, actually. So Telling you, if I had survived, we would have won. But let's take a look at another video. So why do I like the Kitakaze so much? It's just so consistent because it's got so many guns. It's IFHE, 37 mil pen. It's got what you need: smoke, engine boost, basic torpedoes, and it's just so consistent. I get consistent wins and accuracy and the consistency of the output of the damage. It just works. It's there. It's always the same. It doesn't change. There's no special gimmick. It really is just non-stop firing action, which is what I really do and excel at, especially World of Warships at a tier 9 level for destroyers. So, man, oh man, it's powerful. And with the reload rates, I think with the way you build for it, the reload rate on this thing is just right there. It's just the sweet spot of 4 guns with 2.5 second reload. If it was just 3 guns, then it would be a little slow to me. But when you get adrenaline rush kicking in, and I've even mentioned Fearless Brawler, if you actually build this thing with Fearless Brawler, it becomes just a machine gun at that point. But I don't build for it that way. I'd rather have the concealment. I'd rather have the consistent IFHE, the raw damage, and leaving the double reload, or 6 torpedoes times the reload boosters times 2. That's 12 torpedoes going out. Very, very powerful. And you can see right here what we're going to do to this Tai Hang, whatever it is. It just melts them. I'm telling you. You can even shoot the bow of these ships, and they're just doing non-stop damage. And people love shooting at you. I'm telling you. When you're in a Kitakaze, everybody wants to shoot and get you out because they know the raw damage that you can do right there. Starting fires like there, sending hate down range. Just look at that damage. Just raw damage. Just take it all in. Just enjoy it. He takes a shot at us. It's okay. A lot of overpins on his part. We're down to 17, but that's okay. The more he hits us, the better our reload rate gets because of that adrenaline rush gimmick, right? 2.4 seconds now. Once you start getting this thing down to 2.1 seconds, oh man, it is just awful to play against. Speed it up, get here. All right, here's where we go. We just smoke up, and this is just the crazy part aspect. You get a smoked up Kitakaze, man, it doesn't last very long. I mean, the smoke lasts about 90 seconds, but it's not as good as the American line, but it's still smoke. It's enough to get shooting. Nobody's spotting for me. My God, how do you not spot a battleship? All right, here we go, finally. He couldn't like resist without firing his gun, so I was like, all right, eventually he's going to shoot. So he's going to give away his position. This is where we just melt. And just watch what we're going to do to this guy. Just shooting a superstructure, just getting some, nice pins out there, starting more fires. I think he already has 2 fires. If I shoot his bow now, it just becomes just horrendously powerful. Look, his guns are looking at us. He's not even going to shoot at the bomber. He's not even take time to think about it. Look at here. Watch him shoot the bow here. Look at the bow. Look at the damage. Look at that, 769 damage. When you hit the bow, it's just incredible what you can do. And he goes down right there. He didn't even look at the Palmer. Look at that. Palmer is at still 84,000 health. Isn't that ridiculous? All right, here we go. We're going to start shooting at the Vaizama. Look what we can do against the Vaizama broadside. It's going to be incredible. Now, the AP is nothing to gawk at as well. If you actually have the brain bites to actually think to switch to AP, I just like the HE so much, but it is still a powerful gimmick there. 1,700 damage to 1,200 damage. The extra 500 damage there, is it worth it? A broadside, you can. Hariguma excels at it as well. It's got one of the highest AP. Hariguma has some of the highest DPMs in the game, even with AP. So, something to think about. I just like using the HE. I just want to start fires. Okay, we're going to launch a torpedo salvo in. Let's see if we can get some torpedoes into him if he turns away. All right, full broadside right here. My smoke is on cooldown. It's got 13 seconds left, but he's thinking about it. He wanted to fire at me, but he did not fire at me. Okay, let's take a look. What can we do here? Nice, consistent damage right there. See it? Ooh, these torpedoes actually look pretty good. See, this is the power Kitakaze. I'm telling you, these torpedoes are nothing gaudy. Now he fires at us. Overpins. Overpins, but you know what? Got my reload down to 2.1 now. This is where the Kitakaze shines. At this level right here, it's just horrendous. Shooting right at his bow. See if they pin. Yep, they do. The HE shells pin right at his bow, and boom. Splash 130,000 damage. See, that's the kind of games you get with the Kitakaze. Consistent high damage games for me, because it just works. The guns work. It's just there, and just do what they're advertised. So very, very powerful. That's it. That's my wrap up. If I had to choose all of them, my best one right now would be Tier 9 Kitakaze. Very, very strong, powerful, top of the team right there. man, it is a freaking powerhouse machine gun, and it does what you need it to do when you need it. Wish it had a heal, obviously, better maneuverability, but, I think Fletcher does a lot better in that regard for all around. But if you want just one focus of sheer firepower, Kitakaze takes a cake. As always, hope you guys like the video. Thanks for stopping by. Smash those buttons down below if you want to support the channel. And if you got a better lineup, let us know. Share the wealth, share the knowledge. We're all here to get better. And if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. Cheers.